I'm going to read some excerpts from the CNBC article of Stephen Curry leaving Under Armour. Under Armour and Stephen Curry have mutually agreed to end their 13-year partnership effective immediately, they said on Thursday. The sudden announcement separates Curry brand, which makes basketball shoes and apparel, from Under Armour at a time when the sportswear brand is struggling to kickstart sales. As part of the split, Curry will maintain sole ownership of Curry brand and is free to find another retail partner. Under Armour will release the Curry 13, the final Curry brand shoe, and Under Armour in February. For Under Armour, this moment is about discipline and focus on the core UA brand during a critical stage of our turnaround, Under Armour CEO Kevin Plank said in a statement. And for Stephen, it's the right moment to let what we created evolve on his terms. We'll always be grateful for what he's brought to the UA team. What Curry brand stands for, what I stand for, and my commitment to the mission will never change. It's only growing stronger, Curry said in a statement. I'm excited for a future that's focused on aggressive growth with a continued commitment to keep showing up for the next generation. So this is interesting that they're going to release Curry from being part of their brand. I have to say, this is not really too shocking. I would say that they would get rid of Curry because Under Armour is struggling. They have struggled financially for years to stay afloat. So maybe they feel with the cost analysis they've done that they can't really afford to keep him despite whatever revenue he generates for them. So I can definitely believe that. But I would say when Curry first joined them, I thought it was interesting in the sense that he didn't stick with Nike because Nike didn't respect him way back in the day when he was starting out his career because he wasn't a superstar or even an all-star caliber player. And I remember just reading a story about Stephen Curry and Nike when they were trying to negotiate a new deal with Stephen Curry because he originally started out with Nike earlier in his career. And they disrespected him so much in a PowerPoint presentation, I believe, that they got his first name wrong. And that showed to Stephen Curry that they didn't care about him. So he left Nike to go to Under Armour, in which he felt that not only would he get paid more money, but he would get more respect and he would be able to create his own brand with them. Whereas Nike wasn't really focused in creating a brand with him because he wasn't proven. He wasn't projected to be a major superstar when he was with Nike. You have to remember his first 4 or 5 years in the league. He was injured a lot of times. He wasn't even an all-star caliber player, I think, until year 5 of his career or year 6. I think that's when he broke out. So it took a while for Curry to be a big-time star. And when he was Nike, they never thought he would reach that trajectory that he has reached in his career, being a MVP caliber player perennially. So it made sense for Nike to lowball him and not take him seriously. And he made the smart move, I felt, when he left Nike and tried to do his thing. I thought when he first joined Under Armour, it was interesting in the sense that it seemed like there was going to be great opportunities for him to grow Under Armour, kind of like what Michael Jordan did with Nike during like the 1980s, that I felt there might have been a chance for him to have that type of luck with Under Armour if they got the right shoes, but they screwed up big time on his shoes. His shoes are what they call middle-aged dad shoes. They were so ugly, just yucky looking, not something that you would want to wear, that they just weren't cool, as they would say. So I think that was the biggest fuck up with Under Armour, was just designing ugly shoes that were not marketable, and I think that really hurt them. Granted, they were still able to sell a lot of shoes, I believe, simply because they had the Curry name, but I think they could have done a lot better if they came up with better shoe designs. Now with Curry, he's still in a good situation because he's still able to carry the Curry brand name to another shoe company. I wonder which one will he pick. Will he go back to Nike, or will he go to some other shoe company like New Balance? I know New Balance has been trying to scoop up a lot of young NBA players lately. They've gotten Cooper Flag, and they have some veterans like Kawhi Leonard, Jamal Murray. I think New Balance could target him, but he could also go possibly to Adidas. That's another option. Or maybe he goes back to Nike where his career originally started. And this time around, Nike gives him a better brand deal and marketing. Granted, I think now it's like kind of too late for him to have a big time thing going with Nike because his career is like right at the tail end. That he has probably a few more years left, but if we're being honest, I don't expect him to be contending for rings these next few years. He's like really on the down end of his career, much like Magic Johnson was during the early 90s, Larry Bird during the early 90s, and Tim Duncan during the mid 2010s. So I don't really expect much from him from a winning standpoint. And you got to look at when it comes to marketing shoes and branding, it's really about marketing to the young generation. Curry's now considered old for the young people who are coming up right now. So I don't really think Nike can really do many great things with him. Sure, they can make a good amount of money from his loyal fan base. That's where I think his value comes in for Nike when it comes to leveraging. He can say like, I have millions of fans, even though I'm near the end of my career, but these fans are so hardcore, they're gonna buy whatever shoes that you put my name on simply because they've been my fans for a long time and I have a large base. That to me is his leverage, but I wonder where he'll go. I think it's just a toss up between Nike, New Balance, and Adidas, but there's a shot maybe he'll go to one of these Chinese shoe companies since they're paying a lot to get NBA players. That's pretty much all I had to say about this.